Hello, Red vs. Blue fans, and welcome back to the AFTERBUZZ TV Red vs. Blue After Show. We are covering Season 14, Episodes 17 through 20, and we'll see you after the opening.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
I love this so much.
Who's ready for a song and dance number, guys?
Yeah, with all of these, like, we had 2 out of these were...
Wait a minute, Donut. You're what?
We have a light show happening right now. Oh my God.
Well done. Well done.
Courtesy of the wonderful Mark B. Donica, who is in the booth today.
What to do, everybody?
And of course, I have with me the wonderful Megan Salinas, whose birthday it is today.
Oh, shucks. Hey there, everybody. You guys can tweet at me at the Menguin. That's TheMenguin.
You can wish her a happy birthday on there as well. And I'm Katie Cullen. You can find me on Twitter at Kiaxet. That is Kiaxet. We have the hashtag ABTVRVB. We have the live chat. That will be up in just a minute. So if you guys have anything fun to say about these episodes, throw it in the hashtag, throw it in the live chat. You may well get a shout out. We are doing episodes 17 through 20. I think we're starting to reach the tail end of this season. I know we're not at the end, but I think we're getting close. Get Bent, Red versus Blue the musical, Mr. Red versus Mr. Blue, and this had like it was Red versus Blue season 14, Red versus Blue the throwdown. Like, it had one hell of a title.
Yeah. I thought like that I was misreading it for about like probably a solid 30 seconds while looking at the title.
It's like, how many of the...
Is my brain broken? Am I reading that wrong?
No, there were so many colons in that title. It was crazy. So, yeah.
I'm sensing a motif.
I'm not over the musical. Oh my God. Can we just start with that?
Sure.
Because we started with Donut the Musical, which is the name of that song if you guys want to look it up and or buy it on iTunes.
Yeah, it was nice because a couple years ago, we got Donut the Musical and we got all of those different character soundtrack songs. And anybody who watches any given after show that I'm on knows that I have a philosophy about all the TV that I watch, and that's anything can be made better if you add the musical to the end of it. And sure enough, this time around we got Red versus Blue the musical, and it was spectacular.
And what I loved about that, because back when they did the voting PSA, I want to say that was probably 4 years ago at this point, it was a song. And I remember them talking about how they had to auto-tune Griffin Simmons so much because, God bless them, they can't sing.
Oh, that's a shame.
I just remember them being like, yeah, that song is auto-tuned to hell and back. And so it's like Red versus Blue the musical. I'm like, oh boy. And we start with, you ever wonder why we're here in song form? I'm like, oh boy.
It was great. And Church's number about just like the second the spotlight shines down on him, it was just so magical. You know exactly what's coming when the lights fade. You just know it's going to be a song about how tormented his life in Blood Gulch is.
And it does not disappoint. That was my favorite song. That was my favorite number in the entire episode. And I really liked the song about the spanker. Let's be real. I thought that was extremely clever, but the church one just killed me.
That it was I mean,
it's like Church's Lament. It was so great.
That would have been a really good name for it, just Church's Lament. But because musicals are all about singing your feelings, and you know, a lot of storytelling, you can't just say how you feel. That makes me feel angry, and so
disappointed.
And so like it's kind of nice to just have this, you know, swell of music and just lyrically to have one character just lay it all out for the rest of these jerks.
Disappointed!
Thank you for having that.
How did you have that, Mark?
I have it up for another show.
Can I ask what other show?
Lucha Underground.
Wow.
I'm so happy. Oh
well
my God.
Done.
Mark really pulled that one out. Hot damn, dude. Well done.
Yeah. So, I love Church's Lament. The Spanker song was great, and strangely enough, I actually felt like Griff had probably some of the better names for the Spanker.
He did. Oh, I wrote down some. I didn't write down all of them because there were so many and they went by so quickly. Trying to rhyme rocket launcher, and everyone just doing it's slant rhyme. It's slant rhyme. It works. It's just good Lord, because nothing rhymes with launch. I think the only one I wrote down was ass disaster, because that made me laugh so hard.
Yeah, I mean, it is the type of name that Donut would come up
And he was coming up with stuff like Death from Above and stuff like that. And I loved that Chupa Thingy came up in it, because that is a joke that will never die. I named my first car Chupa Thingy.
Oh, yeah. My older brother actually named his truck Sheila.
My current car's name is Puma.
Nice.
Because I figure if you're naming something Sheila, you're kind of asking for it.
I don't
Just
know.
generally speaking.
I'd be afraid for it to kill me.
Things named Sheila and or Phyllis get blown up a lot.
Well, I mean, we also, speaking of Sheila.
It was so good to hear Yo Mary again.
Yeah.
She's so great. I love her.
I honestly don't remember the last time we saw Sheila in the series proper.
In a larger capacity.
Yeah, it's so, I miss her.
Me
I really
too.
do.
Me too.
And it's always nice when, like, even in this case, was that her doing the vocals for the song at the end?
I don't actually know.
I mean, it was auto-tuned so much, it could have been her.
It could have been anyone.
It could have been Bernie. I mean, we don't know. Was it Bernie? The world may never know.
I don't think so.
Probably not, but oh my God.
But yeah, I miss Sheila a lot. And
Just try it, dead man. Yes.
some nice zingers, too.
Oh my God, so beautiful. Just this whole episode. I love the beginning, starting out with Agent Florida uploaded his entire music library. He's really into bare naked ladies. Like, thank you.
I wonder why.
Yes.
Why?
I just don't know.
I don't think I'll ever be able to figure that one out.
And for those of you who are going, why? Google who Florida's voice actor is, y'all. Just
And
Google.
you will be pleased as punch to
Yes.
find out who it is.
yes, you will. You may even want to give us bear hugs.
Thank God for the chain of command.
Thank God for the chain of command.
I will say, though, now that and again, we get it. We get why, towards the end of the episode when we find out why it's a musical in the first place. But having been given this little bit, there are lots of characters who I kind of wish I had gotten their character songs.
like
Well, we'll get to two of them later. But, it would be really nice to have, the Kimball song, the Carolina song, I'm the best that's ever
the Doyle
been.
song.
Yeah.
I honestly, Doyle showed up and said a line, and I kind of had this moment.
Could you imagine if season 13 had been, an entire musical?
I don't know if I would have been able to take it very seriously, but I would have loved a full operatic "I'm Better Than You" monologue as song from Felix. That would have been incredible. I'm not going to ask Gray to sing as Locust because I can't imagine that would be very easy, but I would have totally been down for the "I'm Better Than You" speech set to music.
Oh, gosh.
Do it.
It would be the best.
Just do it.
Someone make that parody song now. One more. I have one more character who I think should have a song.
Lopez has a song.
No, the Meta.
What if it's all singing and we just don't know?
It's entirely dubstep. Oh, it drops the bass. You can't ever tell.
I would watch that.
How? How?
I'm just picturing him taking off his helmet and, for a guy who's so big and gruff and when he speaks, it's in gargles, to all of a sudden just have this really high-pitched voice and just sing like an angel.
Oh, I was imagining one of those Italian opera singers with a really great baritone.
That too. That would be fantastic.
Where did that come from?
He's a complex guy.
He's a complex guy.
If we're talking about characters that we want songs from, I think Tucker Jr. singing about how his father is never there for him would be pretty emotional.
Oh, that actually would be really sad. Oh,
It would all be done in blarg, which would also make it real sad for the audience.
Delta singing a song about logic and problem solving. That'd be fun.
I can't imagine Delta in music.
He wouldn't sing, he would rap it.
Oh, we have the Xanardo in chat saying the meta singing would be via all of the AIs. Oh, God.
It'd be a choir! Oh, my gosh! That would be the best!
And now I'm imagining Hellfire with just the Gregorian.
Just Sigma on fire.
Oh, my God. This has gone completely insane.
Sorry.
And I love it. I love
sorry.
it. The other part of it, Sarge not understanding what happiness is, also made me very happy. But the big thing is when they pulled out the models for the dance number. I have seen so many people do this, like, on YouTube. I don't know how, I don't know what program they use. I've never tried it. But I know that people have definitely been pulling assets from different programs, throwing them into this program and programming in a dance number, and then they'll all do it. I have seen so many Kingdom Hearts ones. You have no idea. Like, the Roxas boy band is one of my favorite things that's ever come out of this. Because there's 5 people that look like Roxas, and we're going to make them dance. So just watching it go, seeing that shift in animation and being like, oh God, I know exactly what they're doing, and it's incredible. Just,
Is
and
it the
they did
same
it in
moves?
Ruby.
Oh, yeah, no, the
Same
dance that goes
idea.
with everything.
Yeah, but it's the same thing. There's a specific program that can do that, and you put the assets in and then choose a routine or put the routine in, and then it just runs, and you can swap out assets. And that's why we got that fun little gag reel on Ruby of the villains doing it and the Grimm doing it and the teachers.
Not to get too off topic, but what does the Roxas boy band sing? It's Tearing Out My Heart?
No, it's a J-pop song. I don't remember. I know what you were
Megan.
going
It
for.
should be Tearing Out My Heart. Oh, that'd be the... Oh. So, like, yeah, this... Talking about this, I think I love that even within the confines of a story told by somebody else who's clearly, embellishing, that church still is not a part of the dance number.
It would be out of character. I just love the Epsilon comment. I don't know. He got me pretty well. Like, you weren't there.
I thought he nailed it.
You weren't there, friend. You weren't there. So yeah, just oh my God. I was not expecting to get a full-on musical, and we got a full-on musical, and I am so happy. And I want to save the other song until the end because I feel like it's going to be very hard to recap and very easy to just kind of talk about how much we love it. So I want to save that for a bit. Let's talk about Get Bent.
Okay, yeah.
I enjoyed this a lot. I feel like just this chunk of 4 episodes I really enjoyed. There wasn't really anyone in there that was like, no, it was okay. Popcorn, whatever.
I feel like whenever you're trying to find new twists for a story, some of the go-tos are musical, turning them into a musical, gender bending the cast, things like that. It's a few of the go-tos, and it's really nice. First of all, I think the casting for the gender bent episode was absolutely fantastic.
It was incredible. How did they get Amber Benson? Like, that's a thing that occurred. She was Griff.
But, yeah.
And I love that Sarge was voiced by Anna Hullum.
That was fantastic.
That is a great detail. That makes me very happy.
And also Lopez was,
Ashley.
Ashley, yes.
Same as female church.
Which, again,
is
great,
the joke.
Great detail because Bernie does both as well.
Yeah, and then Wash did Lopez 2.0. It's like the leader of Blue Team does Lopez. Voices Lopez. I know what the fandom is. Yeah, so we have another Epsilon recursion. I actually don't mind that they keep coming back to this well.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy to fit things in there and it works really well.
And it's also good to say that it happened, but at the same time it didn't happen. This is something that Epsilon went through, and so it's still like canon, so to speak, but at the same time it's not anything that ever happened to anybody else. Like, it doesn't change the world in any way, shape, or form.
It's ancillary canon.
Exactly.
It's there, but it's not super important.
It's there, but it doesn't impact the plot in any way, shape, or form. But it's wonderful, even in the confines within this world that Epsilon has created. Turning the Reds into women makes things run so much more efficiently.
In the Red base, yeah, like all we had to do was put a requisition in the command. All you had to do was ask. Like, yeah. How long
have you been building this? About a week.
Yeah. We excavated sublevels. There's hardwood floor. There's a jacuzzi. There's an herb garden. I'm like, can I live in Red Base?
I'm a little sad we didn't get like gender bent Vic though.
Oh, that like Vicky. That would have been great.
And it still would have been Bernie.
Yeah. That would have been absolutely glorious. I loved the throwbacks. I love the return of the Voltron line. Namely because the more you hook up, the better it gets is definitely my Tumblr tag for Voltron. Because I have no shame. I love the returns of that. I will be that person and say I loved the tearing up the carpet joke from Donut. Just...
Yeah, like, I knew what to expect from you, but I still wasn't actually prepared for it.
It's like I knew this was coming, but I didn't know this was coming.
And I love that by the end of it, Church is like, yeah, I'm cool with this, but I'm gonna go.
That he took that moment to go, okay, Tex is a guy here. I'm down, but nah.
I'm gonna go.
It's like, okay, we're flexible. We're flexible.
I loved it. And now the only problem with it, though, is that I want to see girl versions of Tucker and Caboose. Those are the... And even Washed. That I think that would be great.
Well, you're going to need to talk to the fandom for that one. I know for a while there was a fan project that was basically redubbing all of Red versus Blue with opposite gender voices. So this was a couple years ago. I don't know if it went anywhere, but I kind of like that idea, and I like that we got it here. And yeah, I would be down for female Blue Team.
Well, and
Let's see it.
And that, I mean, that's part of the joke, too, is that, like, you can't tell what any of these people are actually like underneath their helmets. That's why it was so, we had the joke about, Tucker being black, couple seasons in, and just like, you don't even know what I look like. You don't even know my first name. What's wrong with you?
Immediately assuming that Donut's a girl because the armor's pink. Like, that girl is a really good
Immediately
arm.
Assuming Tex was a guy, too. Exactly. But again,
admittedly, Tex also had the voice modulator going for her.
Voice filter for sure. But like, just based on appearances, they assumed that this person was a guy.
Well, and this was also before we had female models and the idea of female Spartans. And well, not the idea of female Spartans, but playable female Spartans. And so
oh, Halo Reach. Oh. Anyway.
Yeah, I had this moment of, are you playable? No, you actually get to choose. I forgot about that. Yeah, so they could get away with jokes about what gender people are because it's all the same model with different colors.
Like, looking at one model, you don't know if that's actually a person or a robot.
Exactly. Like, they could get away with all of this because it's the same model, and that's where the writing really stands out. And I know they keep going back to all we do is stand around and talk. It's a bunch of people standing there bobbing their heads. It's got to be the most boring thing ever to watch. I'm like, that's why the writing is so important. And it's so good.
It is. And I really like seeing this new take on it, too. I mean, it's a go-to fan thing to do, or it's a go-to sort of way to twist the world as it is. But, like, all things considered, there's a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it. And this was a really good way to do it.
It really was, because it's still got the same recognizable personalities for all of them, but it's also tweaked a little different.
I'll just be excited when they do, in season 28, the gender-bent Blue Team.
Yes! We only have to wait another 14 years for it. Yay!
No, not 14 years, 14 seasons. That'll probably be a lot longer than 14 years.
Oh.
RVB 30.
Woo!
I like to tell time by seasons. Bringing that back. Yeah, do we have anything else to say about Get Bent?
No, it was just that it was a lot of fun. And again, with stuff like this, and we talked about this a little bit on Steven Universe too, stuff like this is very dangerous in terms of, like, it could come off as really schlocky, but it doesn't. Something that could be really bad fan fiction actually, in the right hands is done really well.
It's all in the execution.
Exactly.
I mean, this is a trope that the fandom's been playing with since probably the inception of the series and way the heck before that, because fandom is fandom. So it's all in the execution because this is something we've all seen before. But this, I love it. I love it. Well done. Mark, do you have any final comments on the episode?
Everybody kind of nailed it, I think, with what my opinions would have been. But I think the writing, the directing, all of the execution, making it fit into canon while not entirely being canon, I think it was all done expertly well with this one.
Such a fun episode.
Yep, I concur.
All right, let's move on to Mr. Red versus Mr. Blue, which is evidently the episode I have been waiting for all season because it's Ernest Cline's episode. And sadly, a lot of it is lost on me because I've never seen Reservoir Dogs.
Get out. Get out. Everyone disown her. No,
There's a certain level of violence I can handle, and Tarantino movies take a look at that and then just do a flying backflip over it.
they literally kick you in the face with it.
Pretty much. So for me, it's not like, oh, I don't want to see it. It's like, I'm pretty sure that I can't handle this.
Actually, really quickly, Katie, we have somebody in chat who wanted to share their opinions.
Disappointed!
That's right, we've got Kevin Sorbo in the chat. And it's voice chat.
In the
apparently.
voice chat, I guess.
How did he do that?
Breaking YouTube.
Magic.
He is Hercules.
He has evidently tried
So-
to come to defense of that clip.
Well, we can talk, till the cows come home about how great of a movie Reservoir Dogs is. But Katie, since you're not necessarily a fan of Tarantino, are you disappointed that this is the Ernest Cline episode that you end up? Are you disappointed? Because I feel really bad that this is kind of what we got when I know you had high expectations.
Well, I mean, he doesn't know me personally, so it's not like he's catering
He
to me.
disappointed you specifically.
He disappointed me specifically. I am so upset. No, it was still a good episode. I mean, it's one of those things. It's like when I walk in the middle of a horror movie or something like that. I'll just sit down and be like, okay, what's happening? And we'll reference something that happened 30 minutes ago. It's like, that was a joke. I'm sure that was a joke. I don't get the joke, but we'll continue on and I will find other things amusing or good. And it's the same thing with this. I know enough about Reservoir Dogs to get the stuck in the middle with you joke, to get the argument about
Why do I
names
have
and-
to be Mr. Pink?
about names and colors and all of that fun stuff. Like, I know enough peripherally to get some of the jokes. Having not seen the movie, I have no idea what it is that I'm missing or if I'm missing something on a deeper level.
I feel
But
like
it didn't prevent my enjoyment of the episode.
I feel like you get the gist of it because most of what gets referenced is kind of what's generally known pop culturally. The color argument, talking about tips, the idea that one of these people is a cop in disguise.
I could not get over, I'm not a cop!
Oh yeah? Well, if you're not a cop, how do you know it's not a law? Ooh, busted.
Have fun being a cop!
Cop.
Wait, Megan, really quickly. I know it was low-hanging fruit for the Mr. Pink joke, but I still really enjoyed it. It was like, oh, cool, they did it. What did you feel about it?
For me, I thought it was. You're kind of right. It's the obvious joke to make, but at the same time, if we're doing that scene, that's how it has to play out. The only other way it could play out is if you pick somebody else to be Mr. Pink, and they're like, "No, why do I have to be Mr. Pink? Donut should be Mr. Pink." But then it doesn't necessarily hit the same beats.
Having not seen the initial dialogue, I love the, you can't be Mr. Purple, there is no Mr. Purple, a dog just, aww. So I feel like this episode was really good at taking the obvious joke and then taking it one step further. Sister making comments about how old things suck, Sarge making the get off my lawn joke, and we're like, okay, we saw that coming. And then Caboose, oh, was there a lawn? I'm sorry, I didn't see it. Like, it's that extra step that makes it so great.
But yeah, all of this, again, some of it was a little bit on the nose in terms of Mr. Orange, Mr. Pink, all that other stuff. Some of it was a little on the nose, but like given the framework in terms of how they set this up with Tucker being a really big fan of the movie, and
this is literally the only thing we have to watch in
he's
this canyon.
driving everyone crazy with it, and then they ruin it for him, and he's genuinely hurt by it. And they genuinely try to make it up to him. There aren't a whole lot of moments like that in Red versus Blue where we have, because mostly it's just everybody ribbing on each other.
Oh yeah.
And so when a joke goes too far a little bit, like, it is nice to see these characters who have been through 5 seasons at this point of nonsense together come together for a common goal, even if that common goal is really bad acting on Chris' part and kind of not as brilliant film choices.
Well, you have the reason they're actually doing it, which is, okay, Tucker feels bad. And we have the surface reasons that we all kind of have to give, which is, I'm 2 songs away from dousing myself in gasoline and ending it all, and what's our alternative? Boredom. Okay, we'll do it.
Yeah,
Like,
they all
that's
had to
what
give
we
those other
have to
excuse.
say, but we all know what you really mean. Layers like onions, or layers like parfaits, because those are completely transparent.
You get to be the lead. I'm in.
Yes, I'll get you my headshots. Like, given that it's Sarge, what kind of headshots are we talking about?
I feel like we
We're
know.
talking about shotgun shells.
God bless.
For a moment, Mark, I thought that was actually a voice clip that you would. That's how good your impression is.
Suck it, Blue.
Oh.
Oh, we are both in blue today, aren't we?
Of course
Blue team,
we are.
best team. Team Mystic for life.
You're only saying that because you're on camera.
Team Mystic for life.
Team Mystic for life, yo. But yeah, and again, having seen Reservoir Dogs and genuinely liking that movie, I very much appreciated this episode. It was so much fun.
I thought the dialogue was great. Again, the "Get Off My Lawn," I'm sorry, I didn't know there was a lawn. 2 songs away from gasoline. Unless someone's hiding Netflix in their armor. Well, Lopez just laughed. Like, oh.
According to the script,
be?
I've been shot.
How would you like to be Mr. Has a Hole in Their Head? I have missed Sister a lot. And I feel like she's one of those things where if you put too much of that into any given episode, it is really, really easy to just drown it out. Like hot sauce or really rich chocolate. Like, you like it in small portions, but if you do too much, the people who really love it will be okay, and everyone else will just be completely overwhelmed.
That's true.
So it's been such a long time since we've had Sister in a full-on, full episode capacity, and not just, oh, hey, my brother's still alive. So that it was nice to get some of this. It's just, oh my God.
I hate you! You're just like Mom and Dad!
You're not blonde.
Oh. When they first introduced Sister, my older brother, who, oddly enough, identifies more with Church than any other character, points to Sister and is like, that's how it feels. And I was like, oh, is that what having me as a sibling feels like? I would like to think I'm not as bad as Sister, but
I think we just learned a lot of things about Megan today.
I was gonna
Just
say,
in
having
one
you as a
sentence.
roommate, I don't get that.
I think he was just teasing me, but yeah, it is really nice to have her back. And I actually genuinely do like the sibling dynamic that Griff and Sister have.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Like
it's
Griff, who doesn't care about
hilarious.
anything, absolutely cares about her.
Yeah. Don't embarrass the family.
You've already taken care of that. The women's suffrage joke.
We've suffered long enough.
I don't remember who it was. It might have been Jimmy Fallon. Someone did.
Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel. Thank you. I'm like, the one that tapes on Hollywood. Actually did a poll, end women's suffrage, and so many people didn't know what that meant and signed the thing. And it's like, by the way, suffrage is the right to vote. Guys.
Oh, this country.
We end on the usual self-gazing.
Vocabulary is important.
No kidding. And we end on the usual slightly navel-gazing, what if we made a documentary about ourselves? No one would watch us. All we do is stand around and talk. Yeah. I feel like that joke, getting it twice in 2 episodes, was kind of like, yeah, okay.
Well,
They
again,
usually spread it out, but these episodes were all written by different people.
Exactly.
So it's fair game.
it is a go-to joke for Red versus Blue. We make it all the time. You know?
Yeah.
Exactly. So again, somebody who's writing actually for the series, it's not a surprise.
Yeah, no. And it's one of those things that you can go back to. You've got, if you're writing for season 14, you have 13 seasons worth of material, and you can just be like, this. So, like I said, I was happy that the Voltron joke came back, because that's one of my favorites.
Because it's such a great line.
It is such a good line. And it's one of those things where it's like, oh, this is early episodes. I can reference that. That's in the thing. The last thing I want to say about this episode is that water pond dogs had me cracking up.
Yep.
So much.
I just really like Church's reaction. He's like, it's still a rough cut. And when Tucker's...
I love it!
Oh, thank God.
We don't have to do reshoots. Oh, reshoots.
Oh, man. Which I want to see how they go about doing the end of that movie.
I feel like this whole movie, just them putting it together and editing it, was made in much the same way that Manos, the Hands of Fate was made. For those of you who don't know that story, it was made on a bet by a guy who ran a fertilizer company using a small town, one video camera that could only record, it was either 10 or 20 minutes of color footage without sound, and so they got two men and one woman after everything was recorded to go in and voice over everyone. Which is why Manos, the Hands of Fate is such a train wreck. But I feel like that's their filmmaking process. And giving Caboose gasoline because he's a method actor.
I'm also just wondering where they got video cameras, because this is a base where they literally only had one movie to play. And it was a VHS. That's true.
Helmet footage.
That's true. And
if they're smart enough to make it work, I guess.
Command has cameras that they have placed all over the place that Death Battle could pull from. Have you been spying on us for years?
I know, right?
And also, we found out in it may have been alternate reality, but you can just ask Command for anything, and they'll.
That's
if you ask nicely, they'll like, "Hey, can you send us film equipment, please?"
I feel like at that point, Command was probably in a shambles, given that this was between seasons 5 and 6, at about the time of Recovery 1.
Yeah, Vic's a nice guy.
That's true. He's also a little crazy. So yeah, do we have any final thoughts on Mr. Red versus Mr. Blue?
I would watch any film parody done, put together by these guys.
Oh my God, sign me up. They could do The Lion King and I'd be down for it.
So yeah.
Kittens with spikes.
That makes me angry.
Mark?
I totally agree with you on Sister. She was one of my favorite later additions to the show, and seeing her pop up in this episode made me excited that maybe we'll see a little bit more of her before the end of season 14. I would hope so.
God, hopefully. All right, so we have the Red versus Blue season 14, Red versus Blue Throwdown as our last episode. We saw this one at RTX. They completely pulled it out of nowhere, which means it was done in July. I'm surprised it was this late in the airing schedule. Oh my God, this is the rap battle that I never knew I wanted and have evidently wanted all my life. Oh my God.
It was such a surprise, and it blew everyone's mind in the auditorium. And
a couple thousand people all standing up and screaming in unison, like, yeah.
And occasionally, and Miles pointed this out at the panel, just every now and then when somebody laid down a sick burn, just the entire auditorium going, oh!
I think it's because of me, Red versus Blue went past season 3. I think everyone just went, oh!
Ever since Reconstruction,
you've been obsolete, yeah.
You've been irrelevant. Oh.
I loved the joke about why did we let Achievement Hunter write this stuff, because Jeremy Dooley, who wrote it, is in Achievement Hunter. He's one of the people that got hired at RTX at the Achievement Hunter panel 2 years ago. So this is pretty dang good, y'all.
Yeah, and I love that, like, at the panel, too, when Matt and Bernie, like, were looking at the script, they're like, you guys know we're white guys, right?
You realize that we're all
old white guys.
Miles and Gray.
Yes. Which, now that we know what Felix and Locust actually look like, picturing them rapping is hilarious.
I love that worked into the rap was Locust going, are you serious? Are we actually doing this? And
relax.
Felix going, dude, it's good. It's good. Let's do it.
But I'm just picturing tiny, skinny little Felix.
Single angry pipe cleaner. That is still the single best description I have ever seen for Felix, and I think it was Daft Prodigy that did it, but single angry pipe cleaner. Just like, yes, that is what he is.
Yes. And
picturing the pipe cleaner trying to rap is wonderful.
And then, like, they laid down some sick burns, and then Church and Sarge just kept going.
Ignored them.
Completely didn't acknowledge anything that they had rapped.
Do you guys know the history of this rap battle, though?
Oh, please do.
Well, Jeremy has been doing rap battles as community videos for a while.
Yeah.
And there's an old version of this one on the channel, so I figured
Really?
on Jeremy's old channel. So if you go back, you can see an earlier version of this, and he probably updated it and added Locust and Felix for this season. So that's probably why they didn't acknowledge them.
That's fantastic.
That makes sense. I'm also still just really amused that it was like, well, and then there's these guys.
Well,
But,
again,
forget that noise.
then if he is updating an old one, that's so great to include them. And for anybody who had seen the old version already, that must have come as such a surprise for them.
And getting the actual voice actors to do it.
Exactly.
Like, yes, everything is wonderful. Thank you. It's just the intro, the one question that's plagued the minds of fans everywhere, and then just knowing that they've beat Ever Wonder Why We're Here into the ground. Like, yeah, we're all absolutely trained to just, if someone says, you ever wonder why we're here? Like, everyone goes, it's one of life's greatest mysteries.
And I gotta say too, because again, we're blue team biased.
We are blue team.
That whenever you create a rap battle for really anything, because there's so many rap battles out there right now, it is difficult, to put both characters on like an even playing field, because although, like I said, I thought Church laid down some really sick burns, but like they really did. They presented both characters as the kick-ass leaders of their teams.
I mean, everyone got some really good stuff. I love Sarge's "My second shell is for you, I'm saving the first for Griff." My team respected me enough to bury dead me.
and Sarge got the final word, and that was the perfect way to end the song.
You just got Sarge. Like, ah!
It was pretty magnificent.
It was just so much fun. And all the editing that went into this, and pulling all of the clips from all of the older episodes, and just
without it feeling like a clip show.
I know, and the bumper at the beginning, just some of the cadence was a little off on some of the words, a little emphasis on a weird syllable, but you kind of have to do that to fit everything in.
Yeah.
We can't all be Lin-Manuel Miranda.
I will say, though, making a compilation video with several seconds here, several seconds there is very difficult. So
yeah.
If Jeremy edited this as well, kudos to him, because he made a fabulous product. I wanted to ask you what your favorite lines were and who you think took the battle.
Ooh. Again, it's kind of hard to beat You Just Got Sarged.
Yeah.
But I think, if it wasn't for me, RVB wouldn't have gone past season 3.
See, that's the thing. He had, losing my mind. Church had better points. Sarge had better style. Full stop.
That's true.
And with the style of the song itself, Sarge fitted a little bit more than Church did.
Yeah.
Church just kind of was there's a lot of the Church anger that's there.
And a lot of the breaking voice, which is like, friend, you are getting actually upset over this.
That's not even a name!
When he referenced charging the laser.
Yes, his laser face.
That was one of my
great.
favorite ones.
And doubling down the voice on that was pretty dang good.
And even referencing every iteration of Church, the director, Epsilon, Alpha. Yeah, it was really great. Like, what a good way to encapsulate all the different iterations of this character.
I also did you can't rap against a ghost.
Boo,
boo.
So yeah, how about you, Mark? Do you feel like Sarge won the battle?
I liked Church's lines more. I thought that they were performed a little bit better. And usually when it comes to rap battles like this, I like the intruders. But because Church and Sarge didn't acknowledge them whatsoever, all of their power got taken from them. So I gotta go with Church on this one, despite my allegiance to Sarge.
Although I gotta say though, Felix just very the very few lines that he actually did put in it was great. Not Felix, Locust.
I was gonna say Locust is just by the time you see me, I'm already dead.
Exactly.
You're already dead. He survived. Felix did.
This is why we're not rappers. But
Dayquil, Katie. Dayquil.
I have a head cold, for those of you wondering. So it's like, boy, my words are just nope.
There they go.
Nope. Done.
But yeah,
goodbye.
Locust just every now and then, just boom, there. That's my contribution to this rap.
Well, I wrote down some of the lines because, of course, I did. I think I wrote down equal numbers of lines for Church and for Sarge, but I definitely wrote down what you've done in your life, I've done in a day, and by the time you see me, you're already dead.
Yeah,
those are both pretty good.
Those were really good ones, and again,
you're just practice for us.
Yes.
I'm like, didn't they kill you? A lot. Didn't you really super die?
That hasn't happened for him yet, I guess.
This is a rap battle that exists outside of time, evidently. Because
Most
who cares,
do.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, time, space, the fourth wall, who cares?
The epic rap battles of history take people who are like centuries or sometimes thousands of years apart and they throw them together.
Why not? Let's do it. Let's have some fun. So yeah, this was so much fun. Oh my God, I had such a blast with this one. And it was a blast watching it the first time and the second time and the third time. And I will probably go home and watch it again because it's just fun.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the release of the MP3.
Yes. I will put that on a CD and put it in my car. And you know what? I memorized guns and ships. I can do this.
I'm waiting for the release of Caboose versus Joel, personally.
The epic rap battle of Caboose versus
why
Joel.
No,
am
it's
I rapping?
happening.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, Joel versus Joel.
That's
awesome.
I think they showed it at the Achievement Hunter panel.
I missed that panel while we were down there. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I think we were doing interviews at the time.
That's so great. Oh, I'm excited.
So yeah, evidently that is going to be a thing. Cannot wait for that. But this was so much fun to watch. Oh my God. All right, do we have any final thoughts on any of these episodes?
Just that, like, it was so great that we got so many musically oriented episodes in this kind of chunk. My only complaint, and this is just because we sit down and talk about these episodes, you know, on kind of a monthly basis, is that there's not an overarching one that we can talk about this time around.
I miss that. The Mercs episode was probably the easiest ones to do an after show for because there was a big overarching plot that was 45 minutes of screen time and we could just talk about it. It's hard to recap 5 minutes of comedy, y'all. It's fun, but it ain't easy.
And again, these episodes were very entertaining. I don't feel like there were any of these really dropped the ball.
Oh no. This set of 4 was great.
Exactly. Like usually it's kind of easy to pick out one where it's like it wasn't as good as the other chunks. This one, all of these were really good and really solid and really funny.
Oh yeah. Mark?
I agree with that. I hope we do get some more overarching stuff. Shannon mentioned at our panel that his episodes were going to be coming up near the end of the run. We just also find out that production has ended on season 14, so congratulations to all the animators down in Austin for a wonderful season so far and the season that we have yet to see. And it's starting to ramp up to Ruby, and it's getting pretty crazy.
So before we swing into predictions, I want to talk to you real quick about iTunes. Thank you so much to all of you who went on there and who reviewed. We absolutely adore you. You know that we do. And if you want to keep us on the air, if you want to keep us recapping Red versus Blue and Ruby and everything else we do, and you know we're going to start crunch time, so there's that as well. But if you want to keep our Rooster Teeth after shows on the air, the best thing that you can do is to go onto iTunes, rate, subscribe to the various after shows. In this case, it's Red versus Blue, but you know, do the gamut because they're all wonderful. Rate us 5 stars and leave us a comment telling us how much you like it, what you like about the show, all of that fun stuff, because our producers do go onto iTunes, do read those reviews and say, hey, you know what? People really like watching these after shows. We should continue to do these after shows. And then we get to sit here and talk about which team is better, and it's wonderful for everyone.
As a producer, I approve this message.
Yay!
Fact.
Do we have any new ones from last month?
When did we have our last episode? Because I'm looking and
It
we
would
have
be like the very last week of August. the very
we have
first week
some
of
from
September.
August 25th, 31st, and then September 5th. Does that sound about right?
Probably the last 2 then.
The last 2.
Last
for
2.
Sure.
Okay. Love your show. From Coley Shans. 5 stars. I am an unabashed RVB fan. I love everything Rooster Teeth puts out our lovable idiots through, and possibly one of my favorite episodes of season 14 is the death battle between Carolina and the Meta. In your last episode, Katie said she thinks Carolina would have become the Meta. I don't agree. Carolina always wanted to be better. Oh, even after quote unquote giving up. A lot of this is a little bit of a long one. Sorry, guys. I love your show, and I love to hear differing opinions. My friends and I have been in the Red versus Blue verse ever since the beginning. Please, please, please keep this show going. Oh, thank you.
We're doing our best.
I'm sorry I couldn't read the whole thing. This is fantastic.
We're in a time crunch.
Thank you so much, Coley. And then the Rooster Teeth are the best. And that's from Sierra Chan. I absolutely love all the Rooster Teeth after shows. Y'all know what you're talking about, and anyone can see you care about it. Thank you so much for making these. I've been watching and listening to the shows for a while, and the hosts never cease to amaze me. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sierra.
Yeah, so guys, leave us a review. We will read it out on the air because you all are wonderful and we adore you and we want to let you know that. Yes, predictions. 30 seconds worth of predictions, maybe. So Shannon's episode is next week, and he confirmed it was supposed to be this week, evidently, but things got switched around. He has confirmed that it will be next week, and he has confirmed that it will be more than one part. How many parts, we don't actually know yet, but that's as far as we've gotten. Please, for the love of God, give us freelancers. Yeah, I'm at the point of collapse at this point. Just please, I really want freelancers now.
I was going to say, are we going to get a Wash-oriented story?
There were clips of Wash and Connie in the preview, in the season preview.
The season trailer, yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully, I mean, it's Shannon writing it.
It would be nice to get more of Connie because she was painted as, kind of an adversary for a good long while. And then, she died tragically and, in the service of her fellow freelancers, too. So it's a very interesting character. So it'd be nice to get a little bit more of her for sure.
Yeah, and I know we are approaching the end of the season. We just hit episode 20, so we have at least 2 more episodes left. Not sure what that final total is, but we'll know by the next after show, I suppose.
How about you, Mark? Any other predictions? Any other thoughts for next time?
I'm excited that we're getting pretty story-heavy episodes, and
Yes.
I hope that we're getting a different sort of medium, like we have a different time period, because it's been moving back and forth. Pretty excited to see Connie back. But I also that's what I have for predictions. But before we go, Katie, you had mentioned it. I just wanted to make a formal announcement.
Please
that
do.
The next time you're going to be seeing the Rooster Team on AfterBuzz, we are going to be covering Crunch Time episodes 1 and 2 on October 3rd. That's Monday, October 3rd at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please make sure to join us. It'll be the 3 of us as well as Patrick. We're going to make it something fun, something special. We're trying to get members of the cast and crew inside, so please join us. And if you haven't watched our Camp after shows, make sure to tune into those because those were a lot of fun. And
They were.
I can't wait to see what we get next from both of those franchises and what's coming next down the pipeline for Red vs. Blue. Back to you in the studio.
Well, Mark, while we're at it, why don't you tell the people where they can find you?
Well, you can find me on Twitter at Mark B. Donica. You can find the whole team on Twitter at ABTV Rooster Team, as well as Instagram, YouTube. We're going to be putting up some clips from our past after shows, so make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube at ABTV Rooster Team, also on Twitter at ABTV Rooster Team, and me at Mark B. Donica. Back to you in the studio once again.
All right, Megan, where can the people find you?
You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at The Menguin. That's TheMenguin. I'm also on a bunch of shows here at AfterBuzz, and I write articles for the movie Chick That's Chick with 2 Ks. Be sure to check those out.
And I'm Katie Cullen. You can find me on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, and YouTube at Kiaxet. That is Kiaxet. If you want to see me watch these episodes live and react to them, they live on that YouTube channel. I'm also on Snapchat at Kia Prime. Blind Spot is back. We record at 9 p.m. on Thursdays. Join us for that. Star Wars Rebels is coming back. That is 7 p.m., 6 p.m. 6 p.m., right?
Yes.
6 p.m. on Tuesdays. That starts next week. Z Nation is back. That is 7 p.m. on Mondays. Basically, all of our everything is coming back. Be sure to join us. It is a ton of fun. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Let's go with Plan D.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.